use cases with Liferay. In today's webinar, we will understand how Liferay portal is tailored for various enterprise use cases. We are glad to have with us Manish Gupta, Director, Liferay India, and Harish Ramachandran, Co-founder and VP, Strategic Business at CIGNEX Datamatics, presenting this webinar. Throughout the session, all attendees would be on mute. For better experience, I would request you to switch your mobile on silent mode. For any questions, please use the chat box on the right-hand side of your screen, and we will address them towards the end of the webinar. Finally, the presentation and recording will be made available to all attendees post-webinar. With that, I would like to invite Harish to get us started.
Thanks, Rahul. Hi, everybody. Good morning, good evening, wherever you are. I wanted to start out by going through my presentation, which doesn't seem to be scrolling for whatever reason. Okay, so here's the agenda that we have for today. We'll talk about portals and Liferay as a platform. We'll talk about the top 10 application use cases with Liferay from a CIGNEX perspective, which is a compilation of a lot of the case studies and work that we have done with the Liferay portal over the years. And a little bit of brief on CIGNEX, and we'll wrap it up with some Q&A. Okay, so this is a slide that's providing us a little bit of a context of where the portal infrastructure fits into your enterprise architecture. Typically, if you've noticed, the portals are your one front door to several different backend applications that you might have within your enterprise. They're manifested as intranets, they're manifested as Extranet, your partner to collaborate with your extended audience, web content management, web experience management, idea portal, ideation portal, knowledge management solutions, collaboration portals. So those are the various kind of the different primary solution scenarios in which portals have been used in the past. And they do connect with certain backend data sources, be it your sales and marketing data, your HR data, your legacy apps, ERP, CRM, and increasingly enterprises have started to leverage certain clean abstractions to connecting to their enterprise data sources via service bus or via some sort of an enterprise application integration framework. On the other end of it, when you look at sharing data and kind of extending the reach of all your backend applications, one of the critical parts is surrounding identity and access management, going back to single sign-on and Active Directory, and how there's this separation of internal users and external users, and how these are all coming together. The data security and access control, they all play an important part. So that's why it's kind of depicted on the other end of the architecture scenario here. Moving on to what should a portal contain in order for it to be able to play in these sort of very diverse solution scenarios. One, it needs to provide an ability for you to, compile a set of services together and roll out a new business solution. It needs to support this in a sort of a multi-channel fashion, any device, any user. It needs to provide, certain constructs of collaboration. The platform itself does need to have certain ability to recognize who the user is, allow for, certain nice ways to be able to perform certain collaboration on it, via tagging, rating, commenting, those sort of capabilities. Security and non-functional requirements are very inherent in anything that we do today, and again the portal infrastructure itself is no different than that. But primarily access control, being able to understand who the user is and hence be able to provide a personalized experience of accessing the content. And from a non-functional perspective, the scalability, the performance, the ease of deployment, the agility that enterprises seek from anything that they do today is something that the portal's infrastructure needs to provide. And a couple of other key areas I would say are, ability to provide integrations. Portals being inherently, somewhat of an aggregator of various different content sources and data from the back end. The service-oriented architecture and ability to provide clean abstraction for enterprise integration is a very critical part. Search is another very important component of some of these solutions. Intranets, employee engagement. When you look at these, enterprise search is a critical component that enables some of these solutions to be more well adopted and easily rolled out within enterprises. And two other components, which is kind of where Liferay as a platform excels. It goes back to what sort of companies behind it. Do we have support? Is this something that's the leader in the portal space? And what's the cost of the TCO? That's a very important consideration as well when enterprises seek out to look at what is the other competing landscape that exists and how Liferay fits well with respect to its open source and the ability to provide a per server license model is very compelling. Okay. Moving on, Liferay's popularity as an enterprise portal, going back to being enterprise ready, agile and lightweight. We've been able to comply with all the latest portal specifications and standards way faster than the bigger platforms. This is a very well known and well documented fact within the enterprise. And then going back to being able to do this all in a single suite. It's a complete platform as compared to many other enterprise platforms where you would need to procure 2 or 3 other solution suites to get the same sort of features, functionality. Typically, when you look at web content management, document management, collaboration, there's not many other products that have all of them inbuilt into the platform itself. With respect to Liferay, everything's built with open source. It is a proven strategy. CIOs seek to build newer platforms, those platforms today, and provides for better compatibility with your enterprise IT, be it integration, interoperability, whatever those other key traits are that enterprises seek out today. So the next 10-12 slides, we will cover each one of these use cases that I talked about in my first slide leading up to what are the scenarios in which Liferay is being deployed today. The first one, and this is the one where we've seen a lot of adoption within Liferay. It's Intranet. Intranets per se have evolved quite a bit. When you look at even just simple web content management and web experience management and how that's evolved into engagement, that's exactly the sort of the evolution that the employee engagement and the intranets have experienced as well. This is the architecture diagram or the block diagram on the right is a clear representation of what our take on intranet is based on our experience of numerous intranet implementations that we've been part of over the last decade or so with Liferay. Primarily, it goes back to web content management, being able to provide for a top-down messaging from the company, being able to provide a delegated content management within the various departments of the company, being able to allow for certain workflow constructs to provide a better content publishing component that intranets strive to leverage as their basic requirements and capabilities. The social collaboration is another key component. In general, enterprises, the knowledge workplaces always believe that if you're able to eliminate the use of emails and then keep going back and forth on on topics via emails, if you're able to do this better with just collaboration capabilities within the intranet employee engagement platforms, there's definitely certain efficiencies that you can build within your enterprise. Document management is another key component. So the key component here, when you look at each one of these 4 or 5 things that we talk about that exist, these little blue tiles here are all capabilities that Liferay provides out of the box. So if you go to any distribution of Liferay today and then install the bundle, you'll be able to realize all this functionality that you see in this blue tiles here. I'm going to kind of zip through the next couple of features, functionality a little bit more faster. Portals have always been about, how do you segment your audience and provide for capabilities and address the audience via their vantage point, be it just marketing users, sales users, whatever be the sort of this demarcation within the intranet. That is something that has been there for a while. But going even beyond into personalization and being able to, kind of be somewhat suggestive in the content push to these individuals is another key component. The microsite architecture, the ability to, have a single portal platform that's kind of catering to multiple different, sub content areas within the intranet and employee engagement platform is a critical part. And then some of the hygiene factors like, security, being able to have clear audit trails on everything that's being done there, being able to allow for integration with your enterprise applications is critical. The one other comment that I will talk about and how Liferay's kind of really helped out is via the mobility strategy. A couple of different architecture patterns available within Liferay. When you look at even employee engagement, it could be one of 2 ways. Firstly, all the newer themes and UI development inside Liferay is HTML5, and hence could be something that's accessible from any device. That's a given. But beyond that, even being able to take a subset of the content and then address it in a more targeted fashion for your channel, for your mobile channel, for example, could be another powerful mechanism, and that is something that Liferay provides for. The key components surrounding the customized functions that we've helped roll out, which is what kind of is our employee engagement platform, it's all surrounding how is the platform learning about your past browsing habits, and hence how is it able to bring in more recommended content? How is it able to enable certain productivity enhancers within the context of what is your organization's culture? So we have a consulting playbook that we bring to bear on some of these implementations to be able to address innovation, productivity improvements within your organization by looking at what's the current goals of the intranet and being able to change some of those user behaviors as well. There's a couple of platforms or application accelerators that we bring to the table along with the employee engagement, going back to reputation management, being able to facilitate some sort of innovation within your organization, being able to provide certain other document management solution scenarios within your employee engagement platform is something that we have addressed successfully. And all this is using a set of open source tools beyond even just the Liferay platform into identity and access management and so on. This particular slide talks about the before and after for one of the implementations that we did, where if you notice that the prior version of it was just a bunch of loosely put together websites or even web applications, something that existed when we went in, and then we were able to take that in, and put in a better taxonomy and a menu structure of how the new employee engagement is going to be addressed there. With some key features, search, the whole content management is distributed, and basically each one of the individual users are tagged by which group you belong to, which department you belong to, which location you come from, and hence being able to provide you targeted content. So the next use case that we'll talk about is the collaboration portal. Typically, this could be, employee collaboration, customer collaboration, supplier collaboration. It's basically engaging with your audience in scenarios that you've not done well so far, and hence there are some efficiencies that you can bring into your interactions with your stakeholder groups. Again, it's from a Liferay or a platform perspective, it's the ability to leverage all these various different forms of collaboration capabilities that Liferay provides us: document management, content management, discussion forum, the live chat, surveys, being able to send out notifications and alerts depending on who you are as a user and what you're looking to collaborate with on the platform. So that's the sort of the core Liferay platform itself. And with respect to being able to really track how this particular collaboration platform is working for a given context, it's all about how do you put in some web analytics on top of it? How do you engage deeper with your audience, with your collaborators via certain gamification constructs? Liferay does have this whole concept of social equity, and there have been some cases where we've even integrated with more sophisticated gamification engines and so on, so we could talk about some of that as well. And or it could be just certain custom databases that provide us some more deeper insights about the audience, the users, and hence we can provide a deeper engagement to them. With respect to some of the integrations on the back end, CRM, SAP, .NET applications, whatever be those custom data stores, is what provides us that enriched data about the users, and hence provide us an opportunity to collaborate better with stakeholder groups. So this one is from a project, from a fairly complex program with a large hotel system. So in here, what we did was going back to how so many of these hotel chains operate as a franchisee model. There is actually also a better version of the case study itself that's available on Liferay's website, because this particular case study was even presented at one of the Liferay symposium events. So this particular collaboration portal allows for the corporate hotel operations group to interact with the franchisees as they roll out new products in order for them to all go out and increase their market share and revenue and anything else with respect to business goals. It's all about how do we enable these franchisees to be successful and hence drive revenue for the group as well. We had certain gamification constructs. In this one, there was also an integration to a gamification engine. It was all about trying to get them excited to go through with certain learning content and help unlock newer levels of content to be able to understand the corporate message a little bit more thoroughly before they could actually go out and implement some of these strategies. So it was used more for corporate to a larger ecosystem of constituents that needed to understand the strategies behind certain new products that corporate was rolling out and allowing for the audience to be engaged and looking for new levels of content on the back end. So the next one's more of the extranet use case. In this case, again, if you notice some of the core Liferay platform features, it is pretty much the same sort of the core structures that are being leveraged between document management, web content management, search, and so on. But each one of them has a different focus area. So, for example, in this one, the whole extranet itself was surrounding a product catalog. And this is for a high-tech company. We'll talk about the case study in just a minute. But in here, it's about a complex product catalog with tens of thousands of SKUs, and hence providing for certain deeper ways to be able to search your product catalog. That was the sort of the heart of the system. But then surrounding that, the content itself was something that needed to be accessed in multiple different languages. I think 5 or 6 languages, including some fairly difficult ones like certain forms of Japanese, Chinese, and Korean languages were supported on this particular project. It was all about document management, how the document management was kind of tying back into the product catalog, and was also relating to how did we want to provide certain mobile access to the site, which was optimized for use from the mobile device. So that was kind of the core of the system. Again, we implemented some web analytics. There was some back-end data that was feeding into the catalog itself, and then the catalog itself was something that was enriched on the Liferay portal side with respect to certain images and certain other metadata fields that were managed only for the web version of the product catalog itself. Several integrations on the back end with respect to where the data was coming from, as well as with respect to certain e-commerce constructs that we were going to roll out. The whole implementation was put out on the Azure, on the AWS platform here. So this is kind of the catalog itself. So, like I said, this particular case study comes from our exposure to the high-tech industry here. So these product catalogs containing tens of thousands of different items, SKUs within the catalog. There were multiple sort of browsing trees, just purely product based. It could also be coming from the application view. If you're building a particular application, then hence what are the parts or the components or the SKUs from this particular site that we could leverage for that. All the way going to certain transactions like being able to download a data sheet corresponding to a product, being able to interact with sales and support for certain information about these products, and also being able to collaborate with the sales engineers on the customer side and roll out basically the platform, the product that the company, the application the company was trying, their customers were trying to do. So the next case study is surrounding support portal. Support's been one fairly serious user of the Liferay platform. Typically, when you look at large enterprises, there's a lot of M&A activity. There's a lot of scenarios where they are seeking to do some consolidation within their platforms. So this was how the Liferay platform also became a popular support portal. How do we provide for a clean way to build a platform and hence support multiple different product support within a single platform portal platform instance. So kind of going into solutions like providing some search mechanisms to be able to search for content within the support portal, being able to do some peer-to-peer discussion forums, scenarios like creating your incidents from within the portal and being able to see the status of that, going back to the service desk kind of integration capabilities, which the portal platform brings to the table. Being able to do some live chats, being able to, address the audience to say, okay, if you have this particular product within your that you're using and you are a subscriber to the support information related to that product, how can we provide you the most recent patches corresponding to that? So everything was surrounding a dashboard. It's all about, you've got, I as a company have 20 different products, so there's a single support portal platform, and you as a individual customer can come in and actually customize your experience of what are the products that are relevant to you, and hence be able to consume, patches, discussions, everything corresponding to products that are relevant to the individual customers. So content management system on the back end, integrations to things like service desk on the back end, and basically providing really personalized, interactive, user-friendly kind of support portals. Here's an example of this, again, the before and after. Very compelling when you look at, what are you seeking to do from the customer portal, from the support portal. These are my products. These are the knowledge library or documents corresponding to my products. Here is some enhancement requests corresponding to my particular product. Here are patches corresponding to my product, so on. So it's all about that personalized dashboard that I was talking about that makes this whole support experience so much better. Instead of customer logging into 5 different portals in the prior world before a singular Liferay platform was rolled out there. A couple of other scenarios that I talked about, like house search and the faceted search, being able to filter down the search results. Sometimes some simple key runner or key words can bring about a massive amount of results. How do you kind of search through that in a more manageable way by use of multiple facets and so on? And then second part here is surrounding electronic manuals, products, software patches, being able to get to what you're seeking to do quickly. Learning management system, very popular use case for Liferay. There's several different higher education universities here in North America that use Liferay for this particular purpose. Again, all the sort of the core platform capabilities of Liferay makes it very compelling. But in this one, it's even more than that. It's all about how do we interact with the learning management system and provide for the whole concept of your course catalog and allowing for students to come in and register into the from the student portal into specific courses and be able to go through your various learning content and hence even go through your assessments and whatever else that that particular course entails. So if you look at this whole section in the blue, that's kind of what the Liferay platform is. All the functionality is delivered through the portal itself, but the the learning management system, which is surrounding the course catalog and the e-learning constructs, be it playing specific videos, be it specific documents that they needed to read and then go through specific assessments and quizzes. That's all happening through an LMS in the back end. The content that's being fed into the LMS itself could be handled a couple of different ways. There are some specialized implementations that have leveraged the whole content management system using certain more fancier the back end, like data and docbook kind of thing, or even just pure play, documents, videos, images, that sort of content, which is something that Liferay itself can handle. So the abstraction layers, while it's kind of called out for the sake of architecture discussion, could be somewhat fused into Liferay or pulled out depending on the complexity of the rollout. There is also certain external integrations that the Liferay portal itself needs to handle, kind of going back to the CRM of the student universities and higher ed places. There are some specialized software that's used here, student information systems and so on, that that integration could be something that Liferay Portal can handle well as well. Here's an example. We talk about how this whole new paradigm was something that we rolled out at this particular on this particular program. About how do you even look at a particular course? A course is comprised of multiple different modules, and inside each modules there are multiple courses that you would need to take. So that's sort of a taxonomy of what does a course mean to a particular university, and then what's the sort of the learning approach itself. Going back to prepare, practice, and that sort of capabilities is what we are able to build out within this learning management portal. Being able to compile a percentage completion status is something that we were able to do simply because of the fact that it is all done within the portal platform with respect to the portal having the view into everything else that's going on the back end. The next portal is somewhat of a specialized portal. It's surrounding customer experience. It's surrounding how do you go about rolling out a document distribution portal. That's what this particular research portal is all about. Being able to handle leverage some of the Liferay core platform services and roll out various different types of subscriptions using which you can configure specific promotions and so on. But basically a very deep sort of a custom portal that we rolled out for a customer in the US. So this kind of goes back into managing the users, being able to track the users' activities, and what sort of companies do these users represent, and hence what sort of subscriptions are the users subscribing to, and being able to deliver that particular content to the users. So this is kind of more of a order management, B2B e-commerce kind of a platform. So in this particular solution, what we built was Liferay is again the sort of the one front door to the entire order management system. The e-commerce platform and the functionality is something that's being realized using Magento, another open source product here, and that's making certain calls to backend, specifically SAP in this case, via a middleware. Again, something that we did not put up as the end-to-end infrastructure, but the customer did have TIBCO in this case and SAP in this case. And so how do we kind of interoperate and kind of build out for an enterprise architecture that can leverage what you have today within your enterprise and also provide all the features, functionality. So when we went in this particular company, it's a $5 billion company that molded out this whole order management system, and they came to us with a problem of multiple different order management systems, one corresponding to Europe, one corresponding to North America, and a third one corresponding to Latin America. How do you consolidate all of them into a single platform? That's what we did on the Liferay portal side of it, and then going back to leveraging a whole lot of the e-commerce capabilities on the Magento platform side, with storing a product catalog, being able to do the shopping cart functionality, and then also be able to address the core order management itself, which is all basically services connecting to back-end systems on the back-end. And then going on to web analytics, that's something that's a fairly common feature across all the platforms. We also do have some CMS integrations here for the portal itself. So this is the B2B e-commerce platform. So this is a company that leveraged the same platform for rolling out, connecting buyers and sellers of cloud platforms and services. So similar concept. Knowledge management system, another common use case on uh, adoption of Liferay, uh, goes back to basically what are the forms of knowledge that exist within your enterprise today. How can you bring them all into a single search interface at some level? And the other part is we've also been able to realize some visual interfaces on the portal platform to be able to navigate content that's residing elsewhere within your content repositories. So in this case, it's knowledge management system. There's a whole lot of these non-functional kind of scenarios, be it responsive UX and being able to, roll out personalized views of content depending on who you are, what's your past content browsing history, and so on. But ultimately, it's about providing a navigation from within the portal to any content silo that exists within your enterprise, and then providing for certain ways to address some sort of a federated search implementation on the back end. In this case, this is represented in Solar. Not only is the Liferay content there, but also all their legacy content is indexed in similar addressable search indices as well. So this is an example of a particular knowledge management system that we built out. It goes back to being able to create a taxonomy of your content, being able to allow users that understand how to browse my content trees, the ability to get to that quicker, and at the same time being able to, if all else fails, it's basically search and go through, filter through facets, and then actually get to whatever article or document that one is looking for. A couple of other sort of custom portals or specialized portals. In this one, we talk about how Liferay is increasingly becoming part of some of these big data solution implementations. When we look at certain data and advanced analytics projects that are happening at enterprises, while all that data parsing is happening, and some sort of data blending is happening on the back end, it's all about how is this content being finally disseminated to be it your employees or to your customers. How do you deliver this sort of strategic insight from your structured, unstructured content, and then can you quickly assemble different views of these content insights to your audience? And that's where Liferay has been our platform of choice on some of these big data portal projects as well. So here's an example of that, with respect to sentiment analysis and trend analysis. It kind of could be very domain specific, very project specific, but how do you leverage certain other charting and graphing tools or products to really be able to do some of these latest, greatest content views from within the portal itself. D3 is something that we've done a lot of work with, the JavaScript library, and we've also done some work with Jasper as a reporting product. BERT has also been something that the Liferay community uses quite a bit, but we've done all of these sort of solution scenarios to be able to, present content about, one or more of your custom data warehouse and advanced analytic kind of solutions that you've got on the back end, which leverages some big data infrastructure. The final one is a vertical portal that we built out for the financial services vertical. Again, a document distribution kind of a use case is what this addresses. Our customer was kind of rolling out, stock reports, publications, which were being sold either through a subscription to their customers or through a single report that you can buy. So think about it this like it's a Gartner website, and you have users who come in and register to this site, and then they can either buy a single report or they could leverage their company's subscription and then download specific reports. So that's what the sort of the core platform did, and it was a very sort of a popular implementation of Liferay, and there have been several other use cases where a similar vision has been pursued. So this is kind of the project. There's a web component to the website component to it, but beyond that, it's all about how do you provide for our customers to be able to come in and look at what are the different reporting packages or different content access packages that they can buy, and so on. A couple of other screenshots from the project, the personalized page with respect to what my company subscriptions are and what my subscriptions are, and hence being able to go in and look at that particular report. Faceted search to kind of really know if there is a report that can talk about the fallout of the political unrest in Syria, for example, and so on. So that's the search and the faceted search example. The personalized page, being able to really track what's happening on the portal, and then usage analytics, where some of the scenarios that we built out. So that kind of brings me to the end of those 10 use cases that I wanted to cover. Here's my 2-minute CIGNEX plug. So CIGNEX Datamatics, we've been in business for the last 15 years now. We are the #1 pure play open source services company. We have several different platforms that we've built out with respect to, similar to the employee engagement. So there's a list of that to your bottom part of the screen. Employee engagement, reputation management, franchisee management, big data platform, and IoT platform. So those are the engagement platforms that we have. We're fairly global with respect to our reach and our presence. We work with several different open source products and companies. We have over 500 consultants that are doing one or more of these open source products, over 500 implementations, several books on Liferay. I think it's 7 on Liferay itself, and across other open source communities as well. We're one of the prolific contributors to the community and the discussion forums and all the chatter that there is about all our products. Our primary areas of work are portals content collaboration, enterprise content management, big data analytics, IoT is an emerging practice area inside of the big data practice, and e-commerce. So we make it easy for enterprises to really adopt and roll out open source products. So we have a lab within our organization where if any of you are kind of contemplating, for example, how does the Liferay adoption strategy look for you, it's something that we could quickly put out as a concept for you in our POC lab and circle back and address one or more of your validation criteria for a project. The portals practice inside of CIGNEX, it's about 160 plus experts, 130 certified Liferay consultants, 200 plus Liferay implementations. We're consistently being recognized by Liferay, the company, and the community for various awards. We have various awards for the work that we've done here. We've been the platinum partner since the launch of the program. And we have 7 Liferay books and over 4,000 community posts. Our approach has been, we cover the end-to-end life cycle of a portal application rollout within the enterprise, starting from strategy to assessment to, building out a roadmap and then creating a solution architecture and implementing, realizing the vision for you all. So it's all about agile and, how the whole DevOps story is kind of where the world is heading towards, and we've been able to, pioneer some of that, ability to leverage best of both worlds, Liferay, the portal platform, as well as, the DevOps revolution inside of the Liferay platform itself. That's all I had for today. Any questions, comments? Rahul, if you can please read the questions, that will help me because I'm not able to see the question box here.
Right. So, Harish, we have received a couple of questions, which I think some of the question you can answer and some Manish Gupta. So one question, which is usually, in your experience, what is the out-of-the-box versus customization that have you seen with Liferay?
I think the answer is the more you're able to leverage the core platform and then extend it using the best practices, the more resilient your solution is. The last thing we would ever recommend on any project is to kind of treat Liferay as an application server, because it's not. The Liferay portal platform itself brings a whole lot of capabilities and sort of patterns to the front, and leveraging those to realize your solution is the answer to kind of a lot of the portal type of rollouts that customers have. With respect to what's the percentage, it's purely a function of what is it that you're seeking to build. So today, if you think about a pure play intranet or a extranet platform, that's a lot of the features, functionalities in there in the core Liferay platform itself. It's typically 2 or 3 things that you would always do. It goes back to setting up a user experience for how it will work within the context of your project. Then the next part is, how do you secure everything that's going on within the platform? And then the third part is, how do we get some legacy content into this platform? Be it some migration of content from your existing systems to the new one, to the new portal platform. So when you look at these 2 or 3 things, that's kind of the core of the work. But then again, there have been certain cases where even when you think about a knowledge management system, there are certain specialized content schemas that are expected. And hence, there could be a fairly serious sort of configuration of the portal platform itself.
Thanks, Harish.
Another question we have is Liferay mobile compatible? Manish, would you like to take this one? So the question is about compatibility of Liferay's, the mobility features of Liferay.
Yeah, so from the Liferay 6.2, what we have done is that we have adopted the Twitter Bootstrap library, and then making the Liferay portal UI mobile compatible out of the box, right? So you do not need to write, most of the cases you do need to write another UI layer just for the mobile version of the site. The desktop version of the your portal can be customized or developed in such a way that it can be rendered seamlessly on all different sort of devices, whether it's a mobile, whether it's tablet, or whether it's desktop. So all 3 versions of the UI coming from the same front-end system.
Great. So other than that, we can wait still if we have any questions for another couple of minutes. If you still have any questions, please put it in the box. So I see one question. There is somebody has asked about the difference between Liferay with respect to SharePoint, Microsoft SharePoint, with respect to capabilities.
Okay, let me take these questions. So at the core level, both SharePoint and Liferay are providing the portal functionality, but SharePoint is more of a suite of product and not just the portal, right? And so as Harish was mentioning in the initial presentations, that if you are going with the SharePoint, you will have to buy the different modules. You will have to buy CMS, you have to buy the DMS, you have to buy the their portal and many other things, right? So one of the big difference between SharePoint and Liferay is that we provide one single bundle containing all these modules, without you paying for different things. The second difference is that basically is that no, we are based on the Java and then our development methodology is the open source, right? So if your organization is more towards the adopting the Java platform and then open source kind of things, Liferay is better choice. But sometimes it happens like the organization, right, they are using Microsoft everywhere, right? Microsoft is the default platform. So maybe SharePoint might be a better choice for you. Third thing is that it's the TCO things. If you see the overall development cost on SharePoint and as compared to the Liferay and the license cost, the Liferay is always much cheaper than the SharePoint.
Okay. So we have another couple of questions here. One is, how much effort does it require to integrate SSO with Liferay?
This is a, as far as the SOS is concerned, we have at least 4 to 5 different SSO provider integrations available out of the box, right? So whether it's a CAS, whether it's OpenAM, and a couple of others, we have the code, the integration piece built within the Liferay, and then it is just a matter of configuration. You really do not need to do any kind of coding at all. Right. So if you are selecting any of these out of the box supported by Liferay, it is just a matter of configuration. If it is not being provided supported by the Liferay out of the box, then you might have to write few classes to implement the interfaces which provides the login and other functionality, and then you can integrate any SSO provider, because all the SSO providers works on the same methodology, irrespective of the technology being used.
Okay. Harish, this question might be for you. When integration with a custom system like the financial portal that we showcased, do we customize Liferay to connect and access, read or write outside database directly? So I'm not sure if it's phrased correctly, but I think what the question is that when we are creating, when we are actually creating a custom portal, do the read, write, and operations happen from outside the database?
Yeah, that's correct. So if the data is residing within the the external system, then that's exactly how it's going to be. So typically, some of these external integrations have somewhat emerged as being extremely standards-based, and they're able to expose certain services, web services, be it REST or something like that, and so that's the norm today. So we are able to consume services from the target systems, the CRUD operations corresponding to these transactions are accessed via services. Then yeah, we're somewhat oblivious to where the data itself is. Yeah, but for some of these sort of portlets, custom portlets, Liferay per se is just providing the platform and the framework to house the portlet itself. It's not really persisting anything else other than what we want to store. For example, for audit trail purposes, if we want to very explicitly tag every update that's happening, be it the REST call, if that needs to be logged into the portal platform, yeah, then that can be something that's stored. But if there are mechanisms available to even glean that insight from the backend system itself, then yeah, we can resort to all the content updates just going simply through CRUD operations in the backend service layer.
Great. Another question we have is, I guess, again with respect to the presentation. What is the performance experience while Liferay is acting as a front end in e-commerce portals or LMS or KMS platforms?
Yeah, it's a good question. I can kind of use some names here just for perspective. If you look at all the top 10 clients of Liferay. They have accessed Liferay in ways that even the original product conception did not really conceive. So if you think about it, as a platform, Liferay has been able to keep pace with what is the expectations of the platform and in the use cases in which it's been accessed. So just for some examples, right? So the Liferay, the Cisco developer platform is built on Liferay. That's one of the large implementations where the entire, several tens of thousands of developers collaborate. So it's a pretty serious sort of platform there. Then when you look at things like Intercontinental Hotel Group, so there's several published case studies of how they are being able to leverage Liferay portal as a platform. And so on. The list goes on and on when you look at the top 10 users of Liferay. So from a performance perspective, yeah, it is proven. There are some architecture and design considerations that would need to be baked into your project right from the get-go. Please don't do performance as an afterthought. Don't try to think about it like it's a 10-point checklist that I can run once I've got my code complete state. That's going to be a little harder to achieve once you go take that kind of an approach to performance on your projects. But in general, the platform itself has architecture constructs that would enable you to address all the sort of the use cases that you're talking about, be it knowledge management, student portal, and so on.
Great. Manish, this question might be for you, more like it's about can we build or customize Liferay to have additional database tables, views, and how can we do it? So I think it's a very open-ended question, but when it comes to the how part of it, but can we add, like, for example, additional DB tables and views?
Yeah, so I'm assuming that this is related to the application that you are writing on top of Liferay rather than Liferay's own table, right? So if it is related to that, yes, you can always most of the time you have your own tables where your own application is storing the data and fetching the data, right? And the Liferay provides the service builder tool to generate the whole backend code and beautifully generated the interfaces to access the data.
Okay. Another question is, does Liferay support web security countermeasures by default, or further customization work would be, is further customization like needed from a user's end?
So as far as the web security recommendations are concerned, we are following all the WSAP and recommendations, and also getting our product certified by the third-party security companies, and they are doing the thorough testing and providing us the certificate that yes, Liferay is enterprise-ready kind of portal where the security, all the security-related concerns are being taken care.
Okay, and this is the final question I'm going to take. It's somebody has asked about Liferay's rules engine.
Mm-hmm. Right. So Liferay provides a plugin where you can use the rules to write your rules and access those rules within your custom code or within some of the Liferay provided portlets. Right. So there is an integration plugin available, and you can use this integration plugin both for your custom development as well as some of the Liferay provided features.
Fantastic. With that, that's it. So with that, we would like to conclude the session. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, everyone, for taking time from your busy schedule to attend the webinar. And also big thanks and shout out to Manish and Harish for presenting the webinar and sharing the thoughts with their expertise with us. The presentation for all the attendees, you will be getting the presentation soon in your email, and also the recording of this webinar in case you want to visit it sometime in the future. With that, thank you very much, and see you in another webinar.